As all of us, I want to be as happy in my life as possible. And I figured out a way for myself to increase happiness level constantly. So let me share a story with you. When I was a kid of 11 years, I did want to become a musician and travel the world one day. And I was amazed by music, also because of its ability to connect people through our beliefs, views, and colors. So when all the other kids were playing, I was watching Michael Jackson videos, sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning in slow motion, to learn step by step how to dance like him. And when I got better and better, I became kind of, let's say, a local hero by doing late night shows at the local discotheque at the age of 11 in our home village. So, as you can imagine, this kind of fired me up, you know. So, I did want more of this, and the idea of becoming a musician was born. But as much as I was convinced back then of my future path, my father actually was not. Because he had total different plans for me. He owned a very beautiful hospitality business right at Lake Weißensee in Austria. And he did want me to become his successor one day. So he totally rejected my future path. And as he rejected mine, I would reject his way of living in return. And of course, this created a huge conflict between me and him. I did follow my passion anyway. I went to Vienna, I studied music, I founded my first band, and for a couple of years, we really tried hard to get successful with music and to make a living of it. But it just didn't work out. And I really got pissed off by it because I did follow my passion, I did work hard, and according to my philosophy back then, this should have led to success, but it just didn't. Now, when I look back at this time, I know why. Because I simply was pushing it too hard. I did want it too much. And second, and more important, I was not able to deal with failure. So, when I've set a goal back then, there have only been two options, win or lose, and that's it, nothing in between. And whenever I did not reach a certain goal, I would punish myself with negative self-talk, which led to a decrease of my self-esteem constantly. So today, I'm following a different approach. When I set the goal and I don't reach it, I ask myself, to what percentage have I reached my goal? And then I try to figure out a way to gain the missing percentage. Then I change my actions and I try again. And I might come a little bit closer. And then I repeat this. I reflect, change actions, and try again until I reach this certain goal. Then I set a new one. But back then, I didn't know about this. So the only solution I had in my life was I had to quit my band, I had to break up with my band, and I had to turn my back on music because I was totally financially broke. And I had to focus on jobs in order to make some money. And I was quite good at it because I was soon in the middle management of a publishing house. And although my financial and my personal life developed very well, I still was unhappy. And even worse, I really got depressed. I simply had lost track. I had lost this connection to my inner self. I was living the path of other people, but not my inner path. And I had lost music in my life, which always had been the driving force for me. So at the lowest point of my existence, I would ask myself one question. And it's a question a guy named Robert Schuller formed, and it goes like this. What would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? And if you really dive deep into this question, it has an enormous impact and power. And the answer, in my case, was as loud and strong as it could have been. And it was, again, music and travel the world. And I was quite angry about it, because I already had tried to follow my passion and it didn't work out. But as music became the center of my thoughts again, suddenly new possibilities and ideas popped up. And it was one technical device that actually changed everything. This was a loop station. Loop station, totally my thing, because it would give me the freedom to be my own band. So, when the conflict with my father was rising to its peak, I found myself in the same situation like when I was a kid, rehearsing dance moves of Michael Jackson, but this time I wouldn't rehearse dance moves. I did practice to make weird sounds with my lips and mouth in order to put them into a loop station. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to make some music. Is that okay for you? Yeah? So I want to share the first live looping song I ever wrote in a shorter version, and it's called Slip Into My World of Music. Are you ready? Yeah. All right, so let's change microphones. Here we go. I'm on. All right, so let's record the beat on the loop station. Here we go. Alright, we have recorded the beat, now I'm changing the sound of my voice and I'm gonna layer some harmonies. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have recorded everything. What is missing is the bass line. And I need some energy from you guys. I say, are you ready for the bass line? As you go, yeah. Are you ready for the bass line? Are you ready for the bass line? All right, here we go. Slip into my world, slip into my world, and celebrate your day here with me. Now I stand on the street, let the pipes on my feet enter a new playground. My mind sliding down to a fantasy plane where music moves around. Every piece of tea in me is filled with the time, the sounds of chi. When I'm about to let it flow, let it move and overflow. Slip into my world of music. Slip into my world of music. Slip into my world of music. And celebrate your day with me. I know at a certain level we are all connected. We share the same source. Though everybody got a unique vibe, just shape and twirl yours. It is a combination of love and vibration that makes a perfect chill. In it I'm on a SoundCloud, you're happily allowed to slip into my world of music. Slip into my world, slip into my world of music. Slip into my world, slip into my world of music. Slip into my world and celebrate today. And celebrate today with me. Slip into my world. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, with this kind of music in my bag, I was finally ready to make the best decision in my life. In 2012, at the age of 35, I've quit my management job, I've quit my flat, I bought instead a pop-up tent and the car for 700 euros, which, by the way, was a small Opel Corsa, very cute, fully packed with my equipment. And like this, I left behind everything in Vienna and Austria and went straight to Italy, starting giving street shows to people. And in the beginning, to be honest, it didn't work out very well. I had like panic attacks playing on the street, to be honest. But despite the lows on my journey, I had so many ups that the overall level of my happiness began to increase. And this was because for the first time in my life, I did what I felt I was supposed to do. And so I began my journey in Italy, went to Slovenia, Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovenia, Germany, Netherlands, Switzerland, Belgium, Great Britain, Ireland, all over Europe. And on my road, I began to record live looping videos in my very own style. Because I would do a car show in Vienna, I would do a rooftop show in Germany, I would do a balcony show in London, and the hotel window show in Amsterdam. All of this, by the way, without any permission, so I always had problems with the police. But that's another story. But I would send those videos to festival organizers all around the world. And suddenly I became invited by music festivals, street art festivals, and events of all kinds. And for the first time in my life, after 25 years of trying, I was finally able to make a living from music and travel the world. And thank you. But not only the progress of my musical path made me happy, it was also the progress of my personal life, because I met so many great people that helped me grow, both as a musician and a person. And I found the love of my life on my journey. There she is. And finally, and on top of all, I was able to solve the lifelong conflict with my father, because a couple of months ago, I figured out a way how to run our business at home and still being able to travel the world as a musician. So I learned 3 things. First, you cannot escape of who you are, but you can definitely shape it. Second, it's not so much about reaching your highest goals, it's more about enjoying the path while trying. And third, if you find your inner path and you follow it and you learn how to deal with failure, then definitely your happiness level will begin to increase. So bottom line, I know there are so many people out there currently not following their inner path. All I want to do is to encourage you guys to ask yourself this question: what would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? Listen carefully and give it a shot. That's all. So I will continue to follow this philosophy, and I'm very, very blessed to do so with a loving family, with a wonderful woman, and with great friends. And for the last song, ladies and gentlemen, please give a very warm welcome applause to my good friend Markus Farnberger, wherever he is. Come on stage, Markus. Get on stage. There he is, there he is. There he is. All right. Okay, so let's do the switch. All right. Yeah. So, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get some energy in here, yeah? Start moving, start standing up, start whatever you want to do. We had a great day, okay? So get up and let's share some passion. All right, Mr. Markus Farnberger, here we go. To the top. Er war ein Punker und er lebte in der großen Stadt. Es war in Wien, war Vienna, wo er alles tat. Er hatte Schulden, denn er trank, doch ihm liebten alle Frauen. Jeder rief nur Kamerad. Amadeus, er war Superstar, war populär, war exaltiert, because er hatte Flair. War ein Virtuose, war ein Rocky-Doll und alles ruft nur Kamerad. Amadeus, 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 Amadeus. Rock me Amadeus.
Articles, das war in Wien. Plastic Money, anybody backen gegen ihn. Ja, die Schulden kamen, war bei jedermann bekannt. War ein Mann der Frauen liebten seinen Band. Er war Superstar, war populär, war exaltiert, because er hatte Flair. War ein Virtuose, war Lucky Door. Und alles läuft nur Cameron. Amadeus, Amadeus, Amadeus. Amadeus, Amadeus, Amadeus. Amadeus, Amadeus, Amadeus. Come and rock me, Amadeus. Yeah. Bring it up for Mr. Marcus Thunberger. And now, I want to hear everybody